I recently reviewed a kukri knife from Warivo on my channel about a week ago, and I heard from so many of you in the comments about various kukris that you were a big fan of, and as you know, it's been my goal to collect a couple to see which ones I like the best. Well, I've picked up a couple, and we're going to be looking at the first of the two that I have picked up in this video. Let's get going with the Combat Kukri from Kabar. Come along with me. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for taking time to click on this video. I hope you find this thing helpful, or at least entertaining. Y'all know how much I love blades, especially if you've been following this channel. And as you know, I review all kinds of gear, but blades make up the biggest portion of the gear that I review just because it's primarily my biggest passion. But I've only just as of late gotten into kukri knives, and that's because Warivo in my last review sent me one. Well, all that did was get my taste buds revved up for more. I'll bet you I've been putting in hours over the last couple of days, joyful hours, online shopping for the kukris that I wanted to go out and get. They sent me one. I said, well, I want to go out and get some of my own. I want to have a chance to take a look at what's out there. So many of you replied in the comment section telling me about different brands to go and check out, and I did. And I picked two. Now, I'm not going to reveal to you the second one. It's a surprise. You'll catch that review probably a few days after this one. But the one we're going to be looking at first is the Combat Kukri from Kabar. And I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I chose this one first. First off, I would have to say the size of this one. I wanted to start off with something that was a little bit smaller. I'm looking for some speed, something to just get really good and fluent with. And I like the 8.5 inch blade on this one. And what can I say? It's Kabar, USA made, solid stuff. Many of my subscribers have gotten to know me, and they know that I like to keep it simple. They know that I'm not impressed with a lot of exotic designs. I don't like a lot of exotic features on the handle, on the blade. I just don't like it. I like to keep it simple, and this is where the Kabar Kukri comes in for me. I love the simplistic design of this. It's got some size to it. It's not too big. It's not too small. You can wield this thing super quick. I love that crate and handle. I just am crazy about this design. Now, the overall length is 13.38 inches. It's got an 8.5 inch overall blade length. Now, the other one that I've got coming in the mail has a 10 inch blade length, but that's as long as I want to go on blade length. It's got that 1095 Crovan steel. Comes with this polyester sheath right here, and it's got this front compartment that allows you to carry a lot of survival gear with you. Sharpening stone, maybe some fishing line, just all kinds of stuff. It's a little over 4 millimeters thick. Now, I didn't buy this particular kukri to do bushcraft work, but I will say this. If you were going to do bushcraft with a kukri, this is way up there just because of its wieldability. You can see how you can just kind of get right on top of something with this, how you could even do some up-close, delicate slicing work. It's, like I said, it's got some size, but it's not too big, and it's not far-fetched from being just a, a regular type of knife. It's a big knife, but if you were going to bushcraft, this is right up your alley if you're looking to do those smaller, delicate tasks, even with something this large. But you can do the small stuff, but it's also heavy enough to do things like chopping and handle some big tasks. There's a lot of guys on YouTube out chopping with this thing and just tearing stuff up. It's just rock solid. It's mega sharp, and it's mega durable. In this video, I want to talk about the combative aspects of this tool, because this is called the Combat Kukri. You're not going to see me chopping things like wood in this video, but you will see me chopping things like this. I actually got out yesterday when this came in the mail and sliced a couple of 2 liters, and it went through those things like warm butter. I'm actually shocked that I didn't get into the kukri knife a lot sooner. I've been into martial arts my whole life. I've been into knife training for a very long time. I love it. I love just working with different blades, and I'm looking forward to the journey of developing my flow with the Kukri, and that's why I bought this. Learning how to wield your weapon properly is understanding its strengths and weaknesses. I want to share this briefly because it's going to be relevant to something I'm going to be covering here in just a few moments. But when I first got into martial arts, I started off in American freestyle karate. I loved the school that I was at. We trained hard. I learned a lot. It was really a good karate school. And of course, I had to go through all the katas and all of that. I later moved into Muay Thai, and boxing, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. Now, I didn't go very, very, very deep in any of those, but I spent enough time in each one to kind of get strong with the basic aspects of it. But I want to go back to the karate thing and katas. A lot of people throw a lot of shade at katas, but the one thing you can't deny about katas is the footwork that you're able to develop. And that footwork translates to so many other things, especially knife training. And I learned the footwork for my knife training in the world of katas. You will see a lot of the Gurkhas in training doing very similar footwork to what you see in katas. I'm not saying that katas necessarily teach you how to fight in and of themselves, but there's a lot that can be taken away from them. I'm going to take this Kukri and do a slice on a pair of jeans, and I've got something stuffed down inside them jeans that we're going to be slicing through as well. Kukris can be absolutely brutal. These things slice and chop like nothing else. I'm going to do a back swipe against these jeans. I've got something inside of these jeans, and we're going to slice through all of it. Gosh, man. Let's do it again. And I'll show you what it is. I'm just going to turn it around here. You can probably already see what it is. I'm going to swipe another side here. So it just went through all of that like butter. I'm going to have to take a quick break here and enjoy the spoils of my work. I'm just going to go for a double slash here. I'm not even going to try to take the whole thing out. To maximize the effectiveness of a Kukri, you want to maximize the power of the slash. Even though I'm right-handed, I can mount this thing on my left side and come out this way, but I also transition into these heavy slices. Now, as far as holding it, if I'm fighting somebody else with a weapon, I want my weapon side front so that my hand is not out here getting struck. Now, if somebody doesn't have a weapon, I have more options from either side, but if they have a weapon, I want that hand out of the way. You can do the same slashing drills with the Kukri as you can in any knife you would be training with. You have your X slash, which is very typical. Your X slash, very powerful cut there. You've got your cross slash. You've got your downward slash, and you can still thrust with something like this. I know Kukris are not largely known for their thrusting, but this one being short especially allows for plenty of thrusting. The one thing I can say of the Kabar Combat Kukri is its balance is incredible. In reverse grip, you have your slashing angles. You can come in from many directions that way as well. Understanding the slashing angles allows you to start putting together drills and becoming mobile. Don't just stand in the same spot and do them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Understanding the shape of this blade even in close quarters and how it can wrap around is just devastating. It just really brings it into perspective when you look at the length of this up against something such as Bob and the power that you get. It's game over. It's absolutely done. There's just no questions asked with something like this. And also too, the power of the swing in connecting here and connecting here and connecting here. It's just, the Kukri is absolutely brutal. You can even see the effectiveness of the cross draw slash from this side, bang, coming in. Just remember when you're training, think about the different situations you may be in. There's training against an aware attacker, training against oncoming attackers, and then there's training against unaware attackers, which would be in the form of ambush. Any unaware assailant that gets successfully struck with a Kukri is done. You can only imagine what one swing of this would be like. Just one swing to an unaware assailant with the Kukri, it's over. So ambush training does look a little bit different. A lot of times when you see knife guys doing these flashy combos, a lot of that could apply directly to ambush attacks or sudden defensive attacks. It doesn't necessarily look that way against an aware opponent because, you know, a lot of times you see two guys with a couple of machetes getting into it. It's more like swing, dodge, swing, dodge. I've seen some real machete fights. One guy takes a swing, the other one dodges, the other one takes his swing, he dodges. This Kabar Combat Kukri lives up to its title because it's absolutely built for that. It's got the speed and the power that's going to be needed. I got an excellent deal on this on Amazon. That's where I bought it. I got an excellent deal. I think I paid 85 bucks for it. I've seen this over 100 bucks on some sites. What's your thoughts about the Kabar Combat Kukri? Have you ever worked with this before? Have you ever known anyone that's had one? What's your thoughts on it? Those of you who are looking for a bushcraft review of this, with all due respect, I just didn't want to make this review about that. It's great for bushcraft. It's a chopping machine. I wanted to make this all about combat. And I'm going to be doing more and more training videos with regards to the Kukri as my skill set continues to develop and as I kind of mold myself to the Kukri, because I got to tell you, I'm really digging it and I'm really excited about the next one I've got coming in the mail. So keep a lookout. Take care.